Let me start with who he was, not what he did, who he was. Because if I told you what he did first, that's all you'd see. You'd see him as just his ending. And he wasn't just an ending. He was 8 years of something I've never really been able to fill. His name was Marcus. For 8 years, from 16 until 24, he was the most important person in my world. We met the way teenagers usually do, randomly, over something that honestly didn't matter at all. We started arguing about some song at this party. The debate ran for 40 minutes and outlived the party itself. We walked off in the wrong direction for 3 miles. Neither of us cared, or really noticed, until we were lost somewhere. I realized I'd never talked to anyone like that before. No performance, no pretending. Just talking. That's the energy the next 8 years ran on. Marcus became the person I called for everything. I processed my life through him. He saw versions of me that nobody else ever would. He knew about my dad leaving when I was 17 and what it really did to me, not the edited version I told others. He knew what I was scared of, what I was ashamed of, what I was proud of. He was the person who really knew me. There's a kind of friendship where someone isn't just part of your life, they're part of how you understand yourself, which is why what happened nearly broke me, and why his death finished the job. During our second year of college, Marcus met Claire. She was sharp, funny. She made Marcus better in ways you could actually spot. The 3 of us built an actual friendship. Claire and I even had our own thing. She felt like family to me. You can only be really, truly destroyed by people you really, truly trust. Strangers. They don't get enough access. I've turned over the timeline so many times that I can barely trust my memory. Grief messes with memory. Anger warps it too. Here's what I do know. Marcus betrayed me. He did it in that deliberate, calculated way only someone who knows you inside out could. 4 months later, he died. I never said what I needed to say, and now I never will. I had to give you this context, because without it, none of what happened later makes any sense. Marcus slept with my girlfriend. I mean, not just one time, not some reckless mistake or moment of weakness. For 6 weeks, they were together. 6 damn weeks. While I was grinding through final exams, barely sleeping and leaning on both of them, they were together. I didn't hear it from Marcus. I didn't hear it from her. I found out through a mutual friend who thought I already knew. He said something that didn't make sense, then clammed up in that way people do when they realize they've dropped a bomb. That night, I drove straight to Marcus's place. He opened the door, looked at me, and for a minute, neither of us said anything. Finally, he just said, "I was going to tell you." The part that stuck happened 40 minutes in, when Marcus finally stopped trying to defend himself and just sat there. He told me, in a quiet voice, "I don't know who I am without you knowing me." And I destroyed that. I said nothing. I left. That sentence has been stuck in my mind for 2 years now. The harshest part about getting betrayed by someone who really knows you is they understand exactly what they're taking. Marcus knew what our friendship meant. He knew what he was wrecking. He said it out loud, and he still did it. I've tried to figure out why, the version of Marcus I'd known for 8 years, and the Marcus who did this. I can't make them fit. We didn't talk for 4 months. Total silence. 8 years where we spoke almost every day. And then nothing. I missed him. Even when I was furious and gutted, I missed the Marcus who'd been real for 8 years. Both were true. The betrayal was real. The friendship was real. Nobody warns you about that part. Everyone around me did what people do. They chose sides. Get angry, cut him off, move forward. I did all that. I moved forward, but slowly, dragging myself over the broken pieces of something I thought would always be there. I wasn't done with Marcus. I needed to understand how someone who knew me that well made that choice. I kept telling myself I'd call him later, when I was less angry. Later. Then Marcus died. Thursday morning in October. Car accident. Instant. No warning. Just gone in one day. Gone forever. I found out from Claire. That was its own kind of cruelty I won't even get into. I sat still in my apartment for the rest of that day. Just sitting, trying to absorb something that refused to get absorbed. Turns out grief and anger don't cancel each other out. They stick together, side by side, making everything harder. I was angry at Marcus, and I was devastated, and there was nowhere to put either feeling. The call I never made turned into the call I never could make. The things I needed to say are now things I have to carry forever. Anger is a conversation you're planning to have, and sometimes the other person leaves before you get the chance. So the conversation just stays inside you, nowhere to go. There's a kind of grief nobody talks about. Not because it's rare, because it's complicated. Because it doesn't fit cleanly into the categories we have for grief. Because people don't know what to do with it. It's the grief of losing someone you were angry at. The grief of losing someone before the story was finished. The grief of loving someone and hating what they did and not getting to separate those two things before they were taken away. That is the grief I have been living with for the past 2 years. And it is the most complicated thing I have ever carried. At the funeral, I didn't know where to stand. I mean that literally. Marcus's family knew we hadn't been speaking. Claire was there. Mutual friends who had taken sides were there. I was in a room full of people grieving someone they knew cleanly. Was I a grieving best friend of 8 years? Was I the person he betrayed? Did I have the right to be there at all? I stood at the back. I left before the reception. I cried in my car alone for an hour and then drove home. I didn't tell anyone because I didn't know how to explain what I was crying about. About Marcus. About what he did. About the call I never made. About 8 years. The specific and irreplaceable thing that a friendship like that is. The world has a very limited script for grief. You lose someone good, who didn't hurt you, and the grief is clean. People know how to respond. You lose someone who hurt you, and the grief is immediately complicated by everyone else's discomfort. Are you sad, or are you angry? I was sad and angry simultaneously, grieving and unresolved. I missed him, and I was furious at him simultaneously. I had to carry all of that alone because every response missed the point entirely. I want to talk about the unfinished conversation. When you have a conflict with someone alive, there is background awareness that resolution is possible, that the story can still move. When Marcus died, that possibility closed permanently, and everything I hadn't said calcified exactly where it was. The anger with nowhere to go became something harder and heavier, mine to carry indefinitely with no possibility of ever setting it down. I started writing letters to him about 3 months after the funeral. I would sit at my desk at night and write to him, the questions I needed to ask, the things I needed him to explain, the anger, the grief, the 8 years. It didn't fix anything, but it gave the unfinished conversation somewhere to exist outside of my chest. And that was enough. Just barely. 2 years. I am 24 years old, and I have loved and lost a best friend in the most complicated way a best friend can be lost. Betrayal first, then death, then permanent silence where the resolution should have been. I am not healed. I want to be clear about that. There is no version of this where I wrap everything up and tell you I've found peace or that I've forgiven him. That would be a lie. I haven't forgiven him. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if forgiveness is the right framework for something that can never be resolved. What I have is a clearer understanding of what happened, what it cost me, and what I want to do differently. That's not peace, but it's something. The first thing I know now, don't let the anger win the waiting game. I was going to call Marcus. I kept telling myself, later, when I'm less raw, when I can say it without just screaming, when the timing is right, but the timing will never feel right. You will never wake up one morning and feel completely ready to have the conversation that needs to be had. Readiness doesn't arrive on its own. You have to decide to have the conversation before you feel ready, because the alternative is that you wait and the right moment never comes. Suddenly, there are no moments left at all. Whatever conversation you are waiting to have it now. Not the perfect version, just now, in the imperfect, unready, still angry version. Because now is the only version that is guaranteed to exist. The second thing, betrayal and love are not mutually exclusive. I wanted the betrayal to cancel the love, to make the 8 years less real, to give me a clean story, that he was never my friend. That story would have been easier to carry. But it isn't true. Marcus was genuinely my best friend for 8 years. That was real. And he genuinely betrayed me. That was also real. Both things are true. The friendship, the betrayal, the grief, and the anger. All of it at the same time. Carrying complicated things doesn't require simplifying them first. The third thing, the people who know you completely are rare. Treat them accordingly. I have not had a friendship like Marcus since Marcus. Someone who knows the architecture of you, the real versions, the before versions. That is not something that just appears. It is built. I just assumed it would always be there. Assumed that kind of closeness was renewable, replaceable, that there would be other Marcuses. There haven't been. When you have someone who knows you that completely, you protect it. You say what needs to be said while you can say it. Don't assume there will be time to fix things later, because later is not a place you can always get to. The last thing, this is for anyone in the middle of an unfinished conversation with someone they love, someone they're angry at, someone they miss. Call them, not because they deserve it, not because the anger isn't valid. Call them because the unfinished conversation is survivable. The permanent silence is something else entirely. I know the difference now. I know it in the specific, permanent way that you learn too late. You still have time. The call is still possible. The story is still moving. Make the call. Say the thing. Don't let the anger keep winning the waiting game until there's nothing left to wait for. Marcus, I still don't know why you did it. I'm still angry. I still miss who you were for 8 years. I still have the notebook. I'll probably keep writing in it while you still can.